Om. 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 Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. Pranams to the lotus feet of the Lord, pranams to all the Mahatmas and Gurujis, pranams to all of you. We have been doing Vishnu Sahasranama classes now more than 1 year plus. We are somewhere around 63rd class. And we have completed more than half of the Naamaas. And we are somewhere around the 523 Namas we have completed with the grace of Lord. It's a reasonable amount of meaning which we have seen. And we have to take note that Lord is presented in all the scriptures. Whichever scripture, whichever Sahasranama or Ashtotra you study, Lord is presented as Ekarupa, Anekarupa or Arupa. Ekarupa means your favorite God. If you are doing Lalita Sahasranamam, Lalita Ambal, Ambal will be the main deity, Ekarupa. If you do Shanmuga Sahasranama, then Shanmugar will be the main deity. So here Vishnu Sahasranama, Vishnu the main deity. So that is the Ekarupa. Anekarupa means what? That God being all pervading, that God only is manifesting as the universe. So you will see the features of that coming in the Sahasranamas or Ashtotras. So that is the second one. Both these Ekarupam and Anekarupam are only the stepping stones, or only the intermediate steps. The ultimate Lord is the Arupam, who is formless. That is the original real nature of God. The real God is formless, but for the human mind, for you to understand, God is presented as Ekarupam and Anerupam for beginners. For once you understand and then you progressively prepare your mind, then you come to the Arupa, formless God. That is the ultimate original God, and that is also presented in all the Namas, which we can see. So, in the last class, when we saw in the shloka number 56, Swabhavyaha, one who is not objectified, that means the God is really does not have any name and form. And this comes in the very many Upanishads, it's very, very clear. But as an intermediary steps, we say Bhagavan is in the Kailasham, Bhagavan is in the Vaikunta. We don't criticize such people. Please understand. Because everybody goes through the learning curve, the same ladder they have to go through. So we really appreciate people who are coming through that. It is okay. So each one will start with the Ishta Devata, maybe Guru Ayirappan or Ambal or Tirupati Balaji, whomsoever has got, or Vinayakar. You have got your own favorite deity. From that, you graduate to Anekarupam and then Arupam. So, in very many Namas in Vishnu Sahasranama, you can see this Arupam is also magnified there. In fact, you can appreciate the Vishnu Sahasranama or many other scriptures when you have got the foundation of the Vedanta, especially with the Tattva Bodha and Bhagavad Gita. You will have a larger appreciation of what is talked about in the particular text. So when we are saying Swabhavyaha, Bhagavan is not objectified. So that is what is given here. So the very prayojanam of Vishnu Sahasranama, as I repeatedly have said in the many, many classes, is to elevate our mind from Ekarupa to Anekarupa. That much we need to achieve by studying Vishnu Sahasranama. Of course, if you are able to even visualize the Arupa, formless God, that is the best. But if not, at least you graduate from Ekarupa to Anekarupa. That means, what do you mean by from Ekarupa to Anekarupa graduation? That means, instead of looking at God located in a place with a particular time, rather you look at the whole universe as the manifestation of the Lord. So once you start looking at the whole universe as Lord, then your individuality, your so-called ahankara and mamakara, the me and mineness, all these will gradually reduce. That is a very, very important part. That is a very, very important spiritual qualification one required to go to Arupam stage, to understand the formless God. So Vishnu Sahasranama will open our eyes, open our intellect. Eyes means open our buddhi to visualize God in each and every being, each and every object, material object, even though it is inert, we see God there. And in each and every situation, God is there. So God is in every place and every being and everything. That is how our Sanatana Dharma says. That is how we do puja for Tulsi, we do puja for animals, and we do puja lighting a lamp, and we do take a turmeric powder and invoke the Lord. We can invoke Lord in each and everything. So understand this principle so that we are able to remove our individuality and look at Ishvara in everything. That means Ishvara is part of your life. So you have to bring that thought into the life so that our attitude towards our fellow beings, fellow human beings and other beings and every situation is is what? Is full of compassion, is full of seeing the Lord. That is the true unity in diversity. And also, when every situation we confront, when we have got the obstacles in the life, then we say it is all God's situations, nothing is mine. The problem is his, and the solution is his. I do what I can do. If you start objectifying your own problems, saying that this problem is not mine, this problem is belonging to God, because he is God, everything is Bhagavan, right? So even the situations, tough situations we face, why do I bother about it? It's all mentally, you can auto suggest yourself, saying that I try my best, but I don't care about it. I do my best. I will not be stupid. I will do whatever I can do. At the same time, I will leave it to God to solve the problem, because I can only try, because Krishna says, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So you have got a choice over actions you do not control, or you don't have the prediction of even the results. So that belongs to Bhagavan. So by studying Vishnu Sahasranama, by having the visualization that the entire universe is Bhagavan, including all the problems we confront, and objectifying it and putting it on the Lord, my mind becomes very, very light. It's a abhara manaha. So there's no bharam. If the manam is having bharam, bharam means what? All the stress and strain which you have got. That mind is cannot think, cannot come to the arupam. So for you to even understand, that arupam understanding is called technically jnana yoga. So if you want to go to that, first I have to prepare the mind. But prepare a mind is only in technical terms called karma upasana yoga. And all it is all about what? It is all visualizing the whole universe as Bhagavan. That we call it as a Vishnu in the Vishnu Sahasranama. So you have to keep this background and remind ourselves this background once in a while when we study. That is very, very important. So moving on, let us go to the next Nama, 524, Jita Mitraha, Shloka number 56. Let me chant the Shloka again. Ajo Maharga Swabhabhyo Jita Mitra Pramodanaha Anando Nandano Nanda Satya Dharma Trivikramaha. We have seen Ajaha Nama meaning. Ajaha means, here we said, one who is in the form of Manmata. Earlier we have seen the same Ajaga Nama at the Nama number 95 and 204. In 95 we interpreted as unborn. In 204, one who moves. Here it is one in the form of Manmata. So we said all the desire, Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharadashma. Any legitimate desire is fine, as long as it is in harmony with the nature. Then Maharaha, one who deserves worship. Then Swabhavyaha, one who is not objectified. So we cannot objectify God as a third person. So initially we can say, but we cannot be objectified. Up to this we have seen. Let us go to Jita Mitraha. Jita Mitra, one who wins over enemies. Mitra means a friend, Amitra means an enemy. The Lord is Jita Mitra because the Amitras means what? Both internal and external enemies have to be won. Are Jita, won over by him. Bhagavan can really have no enemies inside or outside because he is the only one that is there. Because we say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Now, Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. When we say everything is Bhagavan, where is the question of enemy or friend? Nothing is there for Bhagavan's standpoint view. But when we chant this Nama, we win both internal and external enemies. What are the internal enemies we have got? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryam. Desire, anger, greed, hatred, jealousy, pride, and so on. And the external enemies are what? External enemies are so many. Okay. Ideally, when you do Sahasranama, you will not have any external enemies at all because everything is only internal enemy. Everything is only internal. So Alluvar says everything because there's no problem externally at all. Everything is yours. So we are having a adhikaram called Porayudamaya, where Bhagavan says even like the Bhumi who is pardoning everything, even the worst sinner you pardon, you bless. Of course, you don't be stupid. You have to be very careful. When I say those statements, you have to be taking it very carefully. If you have to protect yourself, you have to fight. That you have no choice. So your life cannot be in danger. So you have to be careful about it. But generally, many of the enemies are internal, and there are very many known enemies like Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Shishupala, Hiranyakashipu. They are all there. So Bhagavan takes avatara and has won over those enemies. So both inside and outside we have to win. So therefore we invoke the Lord as Jita Mitra so that we can vanquish all our enemies. What a profound nama. The next one is Pramodanaha, one who is ever joyful. One who is ever joyful. He is Pramodana, ever joyful, as though enjoying his own self. That is of the nature of the Anandamrita. He also makes one happy through the form in which he is meditated upon. Because in the Sanskrit, there are 3 degrees. Now, Priyam, Modaha, Pramodaha. Pramodaha means a superlative degree. Priyam means liker, likest, like this. So you have got the one who like the most. So Pramodaha. One who Pramodaha means one who is always joyful, most joyful. So Pramodaha, superlative degree. Then Anandaha, the one of the nature of joy. He is the Ananda Swarupam. His Swarupa is Ananda. Nature is. Bhagavan's nature is Ananda Swarupam. In fact, our nature is also Ananda Swarupam. But only thing is, we have not discovered our true nature. Bhagavan has discovered his nature. So any joy got by anyone is only a fraction of his Swarupa Ananda. So he is Ananda Swarupam. So Ananda. Then Nandanaha. Nandanaha means the source of happiness. Not only is he the one in whom you discover pramoda, joy, but even the happiness that is born on the sense objects is also because of Bhagavan alone. All the worldly interactions which we have got, we get the sense objects from which we get the joy. So that is also Bhagavan alone. So he is Nandana because he is the one who makes us happy. Even though we attribute our joy to various other things, all the happiness is coming in the mind is because of when you eat ice cream, what happens? When you eat ice cream, what happens? Ice cream as such is not giving joy actually. The ice cream, you like it how? Because that taste you like it. When you eat the ice cream, what happens is all other things are suppressed. At that time you are able to enjoy. I hope you understand. Because somebody says I don't like ice cream, I don't like sweets, somebody says I like this, somebody say I don't like this. So it is not that object per se is giving you a sense of joy uniformly for everyone. They are all called padartha. They are neutral object. For individuals, we like even the sense objects which is outside, and we classify the world as what I like and what I don't like. So we go after what I like. When I go and like, and then when I get what I like and I enjoy, in the mango season is going to start. When the mangoes come, you like the mangoes. So you are able to enjoy the mango because of what? Because of your disposition. That disposition comes from whom? Bhagavan is giving you this. So you are able to enjoy those good things in life also because of Bhagavan. So he makes us happy, because even though we attribute our joy to various other things, it is Bhagavan who is inside who makes us enjoy those things. Understand this. Understand this. Then Nandaha. Nandaha means the Bhagavan is Nanda because he is richly endowed with all the means and resources to be happy. Nanda can stand for Nanda Gopa, the father of Sri Krishna. That is also Bhagavan alone. That way you can take it. Then this Nama also can be taken as Anandaha. This Nandaha can be taken as Anandaha, meaning one who has no Nanda. That means no Vishayika Sukha, the limited happiness born of the external sources, because it's not there, as he himself is limitless joy. That is another meaning you can take it. Then Satya Dharma, one who has the Dharma, Dharmas like Satyam, Jnanam, and Anantam. Here we have got two kinds of interpretation. You can take it this Nama, Satya Dharma. The first interpretation is Bhagavan has got six bhagas. Six bhagas. I have given it in the introduction. That's why it's called Bhagavan. Atmavan, Vidwan, Pailwan. But anything endowed with. One endowed means endowed with. Bhagavan has got Bhaga, Bhagavan. So what are the Bhaga or dharmas? Like Jnana, the knowledge, Vairagya, the dispassion, Virya, the capacity to sorry, Virya, the capacity to create and sustain and resolve, Yashas, the fame, Shrihi, the wealth, and Aishwarya, the overlordship. So because of these are there in abundance, it limitless. That's why he is called Bhagavan. So these dharmas are Satya, true for him, in the sense they are always present in absolute measure, never missing or lacking at any time, any quality or quantity. That's why he is called Bhagavan. Okay, this is where you can take it as one way. Second way is you can take it as a Satya Dharmaha in a philosophical sense. So the Nama can be looked at like this. Satya Dharma then means one who has got Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam as his Dharma. Dharma means nature. The meaning of Dharma has got multiple meanings if you go to dictionary. So here Dharma means nature. Swarupam is called Dharma. So one who is the Satyam, Jnanam, and Anantam, the features. That is what, as I told you in the introduction, this is exactly the feature which is given in the Taittiriya Upanishads for the Brahman, the Arupam Vishnu, the Arupam. The third chapter of the Taittiriya Upanishads, it says, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Soshnu De Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschiteti. It says. So Bhagavan says Satyam Jnanam Ananta Brahma. So here Dharma is Swarupa Dharma. Satya is that Satyam means what? Satya is that which exists in all three periods of time. In fact, it is beyond time also. Kala Atita. So, which is beyond a Kala, of course, we can say as simplicity, for simplicity's sake, which is existing in all the periods of time. Jnana is that which is in the form of consciousness, without the limitation of knower, known, and knowledge. Triputi. There's no such limitations. Then Ananta is the one which is limitless, not limited by the time, space, or object. So that Bhagavan is what? Shuddha. So Satya Dharma means Shuddha, which is always pure. That is from the standpoint of our concept of purity. Muktaha is that which is never bound and ever free. So the one who has all these dharmas is called Satya Dharma. What a profound nama again. You can look at it in two ways. One is as a Vyavahariyam, another one is Paramarthikam. Vyavahariyam means what? From a transactional way, when you look at this Lord Nama, you can say this is the Lama of the Bhagavan who has got those six bhagas. In the Paramarthika, in the philosophical standpoint, when you say he is endowed with the features, his nature of Bhagavan is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. So Nidya, Shuddha, Muktaha. That's what we can say. So next one is Trivikramaha. Again, you can look at it in two ways. The word Trivikrama means because he spanned the three worlds by his three steps. You know that the story in Bhagavatam. So the three worlds can be taken as Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, and Suvaha. The earth and those below, and the heavens. I mean the Bhuva and then the heavens. All those things. Earth and those below, and the heavens and that in between. These three called Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, and Suvaha. Or it can be taken as the physical, subtle, and causal world. Uh, Physical world, subtle world, and causal world. Also, it can be taken. So that way, Trivikramaha. With this, shloka number 56 has been completed. Now we go to shloka number 57. Maharshi Kapilacharya Kritajno Medini Patihi Tribhadastra Sadyaksho Mahashringa Kritanta Krite. Maharshi Kapilacharya Kritajno Medini Patihi Tribhadastra Sadyaksho Mahashringa Kritanta Krite. Maharshi Kapilacharya, the one who is the great sage Kapilacharya. Maharshi is an adjective to Kapilacharya. Maharshi Kapilacharya. You have to do it like this together, and it's an adjective. Maharshi is a adjective to Kapilacharya, and together they make one Nama. So Kapilacharya is a great Rishi. Rishati Janati Mantra Niti Rishihi. This is the Vitpatti. So the one who knows, sees the mantras is called Rishi. How do Rishis sees the mantras? They decipher the mantra from the Akasha, which is there always. It is in the Shabda Rupam. Veda is Shabda Rupam. And all the Rishis have got a special antenna, which they are able to grasp it, and they are able to put it across in the word form. So that which is what Vasacharya has compiled as the Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana Vedas, which we have explained it earlier. So they are able to the Jhanati Mantra Niti Rishihi. So these this is Rishi. Acharya is the one who teaches the Shastra and follows what he teaches and makes others also follow by teaching them. So this is what is the definition of the Acharya. And Bhagavata mentions Kapila as the one who is the son of sage Kadarma and Devahuti. It's a beautiful portion in Bhagavatam. And it is considered, and he is considered the avatar of Lord Vishnu. And he is called Kapila. Kapila means golden brown in color. And since he taught the entire Vedanta to his mother, he became an Acharya. There's a beautiful portion which comes in Bhagavatam. He teaches the Vedanta to his own mother, Devahuti. And as there are certain original contributions in his work, he is a Rishi. And what he taught to his mother, because whatever he taught, which is called, it is called Sankhya. Sankhya means knowledge. Sankhya means knowledge, which is the Shuddha Atma Tattva Vijnana, the knowledge of the truth of pure Atma. And often here, many people get confused this Kapila Muni to, there is another Kapila who gave out another philosophy called Sankhya philosophy. And what our understanding is, this Kapila, which is mentioned in the Vishnu Sahasranama, which Kapilacharya is the Kapila who comes in Bhagavata, who is the son of Kadarma and Devahuti. This Kapila is different from the other Kapila Muni, who is the author of Sankhya philosophy. I will not say yoga because it will be confusing again. Sankhya Darshanam, we call it. Sankhya Darshanam means Sankhya philosophy. Because based on Vedas, there are 6 philosophies which was propounded, and they are called Astika Darshanam. There are few other philosophies which does not take Veda as the pramana, as an instrument of knowledge, and then they discard Vedas. They are called Nastika Darshanam. So in the Astika Darshanam, there are 6 of them: Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. Out of which Sankhya is the one. Sankhya philosophy, which is very close to the Uttara Mimamsa, which is what we are studying, which is what we say, which is for which the author is Vyasacharya. For the Sankhya philosophy, each one has got an author. So Sankhya philosophy, the author is Kapila, and all the six the philosophies interpret the same Vedas in a different ways, and each one has propounded their own philosophies. And Vyasacharya is the one who is following the Uttara Mimamsa. Uttara Mimamsa means inquiry. Uttara means the Veda Antabhaga, the last portion of Vedas, and he has clearly defined. That's why, to clarify the whole thing, he has given what we call it as a Brahma Sutra, which is negating all the different other five philosophies, which is remaining five Astika Darshanam, and glaringly highlighting their loopholes. Of course, there are Nastika Darshanam, which is called, which is the Buddha philosophy, and then the Jainism, Buddhism and Jainism, in which there are branches. So anyhow, all of them are also discarded in the Brahma Sutra very clearly. So Kapilacharya here, which is here, is different from the Kapila mentioned, who is the author of Sankhya philosophy. That is what I wanted to say. So that is what it is. And so Kapila is not separate from Ishvara, because he is the avatar of Vishnu, because he knew truth, and the Jiva, and that the Jiva is indeed Parameshwara. Hence, Bhagavan is called Maharshi Kapilacharya. Then Kritagyaha. Kritagyaha means, we have seen this Nama in 82, knower of all actions, where we have told. Here, Kritagyaha is interpreted as one who is the creation and the knower. One who is the creation and the knower. So Krita is the effect, the created universe. Jna is the knower, the Atma. So Bhagavan is the one in the form of the created Jagat. He is also the knower, the Atma, and hence he is Kritagya. So if you try to think of how Dhritarashtra and Gandhari could remember the names of all their 100 children, it is mind-boggling. But Lord as such is Kritagya, because he knows every aspect of the entire Kritam Jagat created universe. He knows every nook and corner of the universe. He knows everything. So you can never cheat the Lord. Please understand. The one who is the creation and the knower. That means what? What is the takeaway for us from this Nama? That means Bhagavan is seeing all the good and bad things we are doing. That means whatever the good things we are doing means what? In three levels. Whatever even the good things you think, whatever the good words we speak, whatever the good actions we do. So Manova Kayam. So in the three ways, whatever we do, Bhagavan takes an account and then adds in the credit balance of our ledger what we call it as a punyam, which is invisible. Similarly, Bhagavan also is able to record in the ledger, in the debit side, which is called papa, for all the akramas we are doing. Whatever we commit in terms of thinking, in terms of speaking, or in terms of any actions we do, or even we instigate others to do actions, and all those things will be accounted by Bhagavan, because he is a Kritagyaha. Understand this. Because these are all the foundations of the Sanatana Dharma. Understand? Sanatana Dharma, which is the Vedas, Veda is called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means eternal, Dharma means the way of life. So you have to understand this principle. And these are all the very foundations of the whole Sanatana Dharma. What is that? Papa and Punya. So without Papa Punya concept, you cannot uh, understand this whole universe at all. That is why many people are confused. Many people are confused. Why? I'll give you one example, because I don't want to digress, but I thought the mind came into the thought. I'll explain to you. See, when you see various inconsistencies or various differences, various experiences by the people, for example, there are some people who suffer without any fault of theirs. There are some people who have got a fantastic life without anything good they have done. Just because they are born in an aristocratic rich family, they are able to have a fantastic life, like our modern politicians who have got children, right? They have made it like a kingdom and their own thing. They have amassed wealth, and they are able to enjoy for 10 generations. They have earned so much, and those children all, you can envy at them, but they are all having a fantastic life. Not only they do akramas, so we all be wondering why some of the good people are suffering, whereas some of the people who are corrupt and who are doing all kinds of illegal and illegitimate things are having such a life. The only way is to explain through papa and punya, because somewhere in the past janma they have done some punyam. That is why they are enjoying now. Of course, whatever the akramas, whatever the atulyams, whatever the ill-gotten things, whatever they are doing now, they will definitely suffer. Maybe in this janma itself or later, we do not know. There have been very many actors and actresses in India, you can see, who have reached the height of glory, the zenith of everything in their when they were in the celluloid world. And within the same generation, they came to pit of poverty. You can read so many stories of our cinema actors and actresses. So why? We do not know. So you and I are not the judge. The main point from this Nama, the takeaway is, because often we get this confusion. Why Bhagavan is making all this? He is inconsistent. He doesn't know what he is doing it, because so many people are enjoying when they are doing all kinds of things. So you will have this doubt. If you have got the foundation of our Sanatana Dharma, our Vedas, and understand the meaning, then we understand Bhagavan is extremely fair. He knows how to distribute. He knows when to distribute. He knows what to distribute. Means papa and punya, I mean. Distribute the papa and punya karma, whatever you have got. He will give us at appropriate time the good and bad things, when, what, how much, how long. All these things will be decided by Bhagavan. You have to understand it very, very clearly. So, what is my role then? I have to do, I cannot rewind my past life, either in this Janma or the previous lives you are already done. So I cannot do anything about the past life. What I can do now onwards, I can change the course and direction of my life. Now, from onwards, apiche sudracharaga bhajate ma mananyabhag sadhureva cha mandavyah sadhureva cha mandavyah samyak vyavasito isah shipram bhavati dharmatma shvashvachantim nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Bhagavan says, even if you are a worst sinner, now onwards you have decided to change. You can make a big difference, you can make a stride, and you can reach the feet of the Lord. What does it mean? You can get moksha, you can get the jnana. Take the example of Arunagirinathar, who was having such a poor life, and then you can go and look at this history in the internet. Arunagirinathar from South India, and later he turned completely 180 degrees, and then he started glorifying the Lord, who is ardent bhakta of Lord Muruga, who is called Shanmuga or Subramanya, and he did what fantastic things. Take our Kannadasan, who is a poet from South India. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. Who was a Pakka Nastika, was, and then he turned completely. Then he wrote a book called Arthamulla Hindumudam, the meaningful Hindu religion. He gave 10 volumes or so. I think it is available in English also. And it is available freely in the PDF file form in the internet. Go and read it. It's all life's experience speaks. Life's experience speaks. So, what do you mean by this? So, now I got. So, what I want to say is Bhagavan is the Kritagya. So he knows. That's why we said earlier, knower of all actions. In the 82nd Nama, we said knower of all actions. And here what we are saying is, he is the one who is the creation and the knower. So putting these together, he knows he has created this Srishti, and he knows how to maintain the Srishti. This Srishti, and when you have to take back and then brought it to Laya, another millions of years away. So don't worry about all those things. I have come into the world. Let me behave what Sanatana Dharma, our so called Hindu religion, says. Let us be first the true Hindus. Let us behave. Let us behave means what? I will not hate anybody, anything in the creation. I will lead a ethical, dharmic life. I will start visualizing Lord in everything and have a contented life, have a simple life, and have a life which is full of contributions. This is what the true Hindu is, who will do a lot of charity, who will have a simple, austere life, who is able to control his sense organs. So, this is the true life because Bhagavan watches. And so initially, because Bhagavan watches, we will be like he is like a police. That's why we are trying to have a fear concept. No, we don't need to have fear. Once you have got sufficient maturity, you will do it yourself voluntarily because you start liking it. Because we all, as children, when we started, when the Upanayanam was done, when you have to perform Sadhya Vandana 3 times, my mother used to insist. That time we used to try to cheat, very common. Today we are able to do it because of the appreciation of the whole religion. So each one of us have got different forms of prayers. So be connected with the Lord because Lord is the only connection which is coming from Janma to Janma. I will repeat in every class even. There is only a temporary connection with this world for this Janma. I always have said solid and temporary, dotted line and solid line in the corporate organization. Remember this. The same concept you understand. I have got a permanent connection with the Lord because Lord knows everything. He is the Kritagyaha. He knows everything, what to give, when to give, how much to give, whom to give, everything He knows. So don't go with a begging bowl to the Lord. Another way of looking at it. Go to the Lord when you visit the temple, have Sharanagati. Fall at the feet of the Lord. Let Him give whatever it is, we will take it. We will not go and ask anything materialistic. If at all you want to ask what one thing, you say, now what do you say? Vidyam Shuddham Cha Buddhim Satwaram Dehi Mahyam Kamalaja Daitashtakam. There's a beautiful work. Otherwise, Annapurne, Sadapurne, Shankara Pranavallabhe, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham. So ask for those things rather than asking for mundane material things. Bhagavan says in Gita to Arjuna, Arjuna, they are all unintelligent people, Mudaha, Avipaschitaha, absolute idiot. But initially we all start with that, asking for something. That also Krishna glorifies in the same Gita. Now they are also Sukridinaha, he says in the 7th chapter. Artha, Arthartha Bhaktas are also good people. But Arjuna, you have to go rise above that. That is a elementary school or high school padam, where from there you have to go and then go beyond selfish asking. And if at all you want, ask for Vairagyam and Jnanam. Moksha is our goal. That is the initially we say that is the Prathama Purushartha. The Dharma Artha Kama Moksha Chaturvida Purushartha means human pursuits. Out of which initially we go through everything. And then we say it's a Prathama Purushartha. That means the first one. Then finally the same teaching we will completely change it and say that is the only Purushartha, which is the only Moksha, is the only pursuit we have to take it. That's how we say. So these are all various things we can go from this one Nama. I just took a take you through various things, how we can interpret this Nama, how we can use it in our life. Just Bhagavan knows everything. Just we can flip the page one time, I can go next Nama. Idea is by knowing Vishnu Sahasranama, by chanting this Nama, how am I going to change? How am I going to transform? How am I going to elevate myself? That is the very purpose the Namas are being studied in such a detail. Okay, move on. Next one is Medini Patihi, the Lord of the earth. Bhagavan is Medini Pati. Medini means earth. Okay, Prithvi. Prithvi. So Medini Patihi, Lord of the earth. People think they are the owners of the earth and emperors. But Bhagavan is the Medini Pati. See, again another Nama which says, don't be selfish. What else? Bhagavan has got, Bhagavan has got another name, Ambal name is Dharini. Dharini means one who supports. Because the hip portion of Ambal is called, is the one which is supporting, right? Like this, that's called Dharini. So Bhagavan is the one who is supporting. So that's why Dharini. Here he says, he's not only supporting, he's the Medini Patihi. Very, very clear. He's the Lord of everything. All the wealth in the whole world is how many trillions you can put. All the numbers we are created is our own mithya. The whole banking system and the whole currency system, all these things are absolute mithya. In fact, I have asked very many bankers, Very many chartered accountants have questioned for which I have not got an answer even so far. Because on the one hand, every government is printing, cutting all the forests and printing currency and then dumping the currency with to us. And we also, like an idiot, looking at it, say, I have now become richer. And has got absolutely no value at all, because every government is bankrupt, most of them. In fact, only very few government have got economic prudence. Most of them are borrowing and printing currency and fooling us. And then I ask the question, when those governments will become really bankrupt, and then their currency will become zero, like for a mere paper. Still, I have not got the answer for my questions. Okay. So it's the biggest mithya is the so-called currency. Because why I'm saying is, Medini Patihi, Bhagavan is the one who is the Lord of everything. It doesn't mean you have to throw away all your money. Don't mistake me. You keep it. But understand, it has got only that much utility. Even the fixed deposit, the safest deposit, what you have got is not safe. Understand that much, that is enough. It has got what you call it, within quote, reasonable security. There is nothing called absolute security with any wealth what you have got. Why? All the wealth belongs to Bhagavan Medini Patihi. He can snatch it away from us at any moment of time. Harati Nimesha Kalat Sarvam. Either he can take all the things what we have got, or he can take us from this Janma, leaving all the treasures, whatever you have, the so-called hard-earned wealth behind. You cannot do anything. And which is the fact. And it's a very known fact is what? When we came, nothing which we came with nothing. When we go, we are not going to take anything. We all know this philosophy very well. But are we remembering every day and behaving selflessly and contributing to the humankind, or contributing the welfare of not only human, all the beings and the Mother Earth? Are we doing it? No. No. He is the Lord of all the treasures, and we are plundering. Again, I have to bring back my famous subject, which is global warming, ecological imbalance, all these things. We are plundering this Mother Earth without knowing one day this even Mother Earth also will vanish from this universe, because the whole universe will go to Pralayam. Everything will be sucked. Without knowing, we are the tiniest. If you look at the whole space, there are so many planets prone in billions and zillions of galaxies, and we do not know where all human beings are there. But we are the tiniest of dot, which is called Earth, in which we are sitting in one corner and we are doing all the akramas, plundering, without knowing how to behave properly. If we behave properly, we can have the human race in this earth for a little bit longer time. If you plunder, we will create our own destructive path, and we will fall ourselves. Because Bhagavan says, na, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya duskudam, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam shriyamyaham. That is why nowadays, yesterday you see the paper in the UK. I spoke to one of my UK ex-colleagues from a Unilever colleague. He said he has never seen such a speed of the wind in his lifetime. He is about 60 years old. Okay, there was one tree which was uprooted in the backyard of his house. He sent me a picture also. He said it took 6 hours for him to cut that whole tree and put it away, because there's no labor at all. They have to do themselves. Okay, so you're telling it is something like 200 kilometers, 180 miles per hour in Britain he has done, which is unprecedented. There's a video clip you can go and see. A plane which was trying to land at Heathrow, it could not land because it was wobbling, then took off again. Why? Why? We are responsible for all these destructions. Other day, somebody was telling the vineyards in France, one of the best wines, the so-called champagne and all, which is coming from those vineyards, they have become warmer. You cannot have wine anymore, those things. And in UK, they have started putting grapes now. It's all news. It's all fact. Why? Because we are spoiling. Because when I read this Nama, my blood boils. But I should not really get affected by this, because I should have my senses. Because Bhagavan is the Lord, Medini Patihi, he will take care. But even then, when I say blood boils, I call it as a Adangam. Adangam means what? So much is given by our Vedas, which is so easy. It is not for any, it is not, because as I repeatedly say, Hinduism is not a religion at all, it's a way of life. This is applicable to every human being. It is not applicable to animals. This the way is applicable to every human being. Whatever we say here today, you may belong to whichever race, whichever religion, whichever tenet, but is it not applicable to every human being? That is the beauty of the Sanatana Dharma, the so-called Hinduism. So, Medini Patihi, he is the one who is the owner of the entire earth, all the emperors. Very many emperors have come and vanished from this earth. Address all the addresses have gone. The Greek, this thing, the Roman empires, so many things we have studied. Everybody has faded in the history, but still, human being is fighting. This South China is minus, that you try to annex another country. You can see all the akramas being repeated. Why? Human mind will never learn from past. Why? Because it is Rajo Tamo Guna Pradana. Once you have got Rajogunam and Tamogunam, you will never learn. You will repeat the same mistake again and again. So, if you want to really progress yourself, there are two things. You are not changing the world. You do what you can do. That means you improve your guna, which is Sattva Guna Pradana. You must improve your Sattva Guna and be in the path of Dharma. Rest, Lord will take care because He is a Kritagyaha, He is a Medini Patihi. With this, we'll conclude. We'll continue in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Magi Mayishaha Bhubrahmanebhyo Shubhamasnityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Krishnarpanamastu. See you again next class. Harivo.